is Phil, and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist, and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States. That's currently midday if you're in Australia, or 1 or 2 AM if you're in the UK and Europe. I hope you guys and girls had a good weekend. Sniper Girl and Euro, good to see you. Hello to you as well. 4 more streams, be ready until she makes me play that horrible pony game. Euro says, I'm praying the game gets delisted in 3.5 streams. And Sniper Girl says, if it does, she's found others that she can get me to play that are equally as bad. I find that very hard to believe. I think that pony game is probably the worst game I have seen. Remember, guys and girls, if you do miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch channel, or you can go to my YouTube channel /PhilDoes3D. I upload my previous streams to YouTube, but YouTube is behind my live stream. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can find a link to my Twitch channel in the description below this video. Click that and you can watch the very latest streams on my Twitch channel. Remember too, if you want to become a Phildo and join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, go to the About Me section on my Twitch channel, and in the panels you'll find a blue graphic that says join the Discord. Click that. And that will give you an invite link to the Discord server. Euro says, since they changed the green light stuff, there's some really bad games on Steam these days, not just graphically, gameplay wise. There's some horrors and tons of cloned games too. Yeah, a lot of asset flip stuff as well. That's where they buy assets on stores like the Unreal Marketplace or the Unity store, and whack it all into some horrible, horrendous thing called a game and try and on-sell it. So, but that's not our game. We're not asset flipping. But you're right. Yep, since I did the green light thing. Smurfberry, what are you posting in the Discord? No, Sniper Girl. That's Smurfberry, okay. I'll have to check that video out. But you're right, yeah, there is a lot of shovelware on Steam, unfortunately. Smurf says 2 hours of Flappy Bird clone. Sniper Girl says, don't tempt me. Oh god, no. No, not Flappy Bird, man. That's just as bad. Sniper Girl says to Smurf, better idea, getting over it with Bennett Foddy could work for it. Graphically, that looks interesting. Look, I haven't played the video, but looking at the graphic in the Discord, it looks stylishly interesting. Visually interesting, I guess. Looks better than the pony game anyway. Smurf says he doesn't know that one. I don't know that one either. How do you find all of these weird games, Sniper Girl? How do you come across this stuff? Sniper Girl says there's worse, much worse. Oh no. Sniper Girl says to Smurf, it's a super annoying rage quitting type game. Oh no. It's rage inducing. Hero says stylishly interesting for the first 5 seconds. Well, again, I don't know the game. I've never heard of it before. I don't know where she comes across this stuff. But just from the graphic, it looked visually, stylistically interesting. Better than a lot of shovelware. So, yes. I must get another drink. I'm a bit dehydrated. Don't know why. I haven't been drinking or anything like that. It's not hot, but no. Alright, we're going to continue working on a game called The House in the Hollow. That's something you can wishlist right now on Steam. Click the link in the description below the video if you're on YouTube, or go to the About Me section on my Twitch channel and look for the graphic in my panels. That'll take you to the Steam store page. Sniper Girl says it's a game that a streamer I watched rage quit like after an hour. Somehow people talked him into playing it again. And I might not be that mean. Might not. You must send me the link for the pony game again too, actually. Yeah, because I haven't committed it to memory and I haven't bookmarked it, but and I'll post on my Twitter when I'm about to play it. So give me a heads up, and my Twitter post, I'll include a little graphic for the pony game to tell people just how terrible it's going to be. The stream will be. So yeah, we're going to work on 2 areas in the first landscape for the House on the Hollow game. So this is a landscape you guys haven't actually seen yet. It's still a work in progress, so don't judge it. It's quite a large landscape and it needs a lot of cleanup work. Even though we're using procedural forest generation, but even with procedural, there are still areas that are bespoke, so we've got to go through it by hand and clean up areas and make things look unique in certain areas. So it's procedural environment creation is a big time saver, but it's not the answer to not doing any work. So don't think I'll just whack a procedural forest down and I'll be done for my game. That's not quite that simple. So yeah, while it can be good to block out a large area quickly, you've still then got to go through and make certain you've got to go through the entire landscape to actually beautify it. So yeah, and on top of that, we actually create specific areas that are unique. So we have to go through and create those, and we're going to be doing 1 or 2 of those today, depending on time. So one of them is going to be the church ruin. You know, the church ruin you saw me retexturing in Substance Painter. We're going to set that area up. And the other one will be the Barrett Estate entrance. So the entryway with the gates and the Art Nouveau entry, and then the hallway behind the Art Nouveau entry. I also do want to do a little bit of work on, there's a covered bridge in the game. And while it's like 3/4 done, there are just a few bits and pieces I want to add to it to beautify it. We probably won't jump into that today. We're going to concentrate on the church entry and the main gates and the Art Nouveau entryway. So that's the plan. I have brought all of the assets into Unreal. I haven't actually, did I bring those? No, I didn't bring the Nouveau hallway section in yet, but I don't think we're going to get to that today anyway. We're going to concentrate on the church, ruined church, and the main gate section. So let's jump into Unreal. So this is going to be where the Nouveau entry and the main gates are going to be. They're going to be in this section just through here. It's at the end of this pathway. But before we do this, I think we might start by jumping into where the ruined church is going to be. So I've already bookmarked it, so I don't have to travel through the landscape and have people at work yell at me at the game studio for showing you stuff I shouldn't. I think it's 6. It is, it's 6. Okay. So all I've done here is I've just placed one of the sections. We're going to add the rest of them and create a little ruined church part here. Sniper Girl says, I watched the Batman movie last night. It was a fun movie. Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen them advertising it actually, the Batman, the new movie. Who plays Batman? I didn't catch it in time to see who was playing the Batman. Which actor, I mean. So I'll have to keep an eye out for it though. The other Batman movies are always fun. Oh, the guy from Twilight. Oh, okay. I have to admit, Twilight were not one of my favourite movies. I couldn't get into the Twilight movies. I don't know. Werewolves and vampires. I like werewolves and vampires, don't get me wrong. I just found the Twilight movies a bit too teeny oriented, you know, made for 15-year-olds. But I will keep an eye out for the Batman movie. Alright, so we need to add the rest of the church ruins. So I'm just going to open it up in Max so I can see how I designed it. Again, these are not my models, but I did do the layout design and I retextured them. So I need to remember how I did it. Sniper Girl says Robert Pattinson, saying didn't like Twilight, went into the Batman expecting to hate it, but actually loved it and it was good. Well, I will keep an eye out for it then. Like I said, I did see the ad the other day. It was on TV briefly. I didn't catch it all, but it looked interesting. Okay, so we have this bit here, which is pretty much directly in line with the front door. Okay. Let's start there and work our way out. So, it gets a little bit tricky because we have all of this landscape in the way, but we'll work around it. So it's going to be this piece here, and my scaling on this is 4.5. So let's make sure we're in that and bring that in and scale it to size and move it into position, which I believe should be around about here. What I've done too is, you remember when we were creating the Art Nouveau house, and I said to you guys, if you're getting a player to walk up to a building, don't have the building front on. Now I know in real life that's generally the way buildings are, but for a gameplay point of view, it always looks more interesting. So we have our path here. So instead of having the building front on, I've actually angled the building, which is what I did for the Nouveau house as well. Because looking at a building from an angle, it's more interesting. It looks more interesting. So, but that does mean these pieces do need to be rotated as we place them. I've got to try and remember, I think it was 20 degrees I angled them all at. I'm pretty sure. This is the part of 3D I actually like the most, is actually putting stuff together. I mean, I like modelling and all that jazz, but I do like this part of it where you actually get to create an environment. We'll tackle, if we decide if we want to level the landscape once we've got the building in place. And again, I've got to check as I work for my positioning. So it's actually into that column and to about that straight section there. So many trees. Wow. Stop it, I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. So it needs to go in. And I believe it needs to come over. Maybe? Oh, I see why I'm getting confused. It's actually, oh no, I'm looking at it from the wrong angle. There we go. It is actually to the edge there, on the outside of that column. Wait, what am I missing? Oh, okay, it's a short column, alright. So it's that short column there, so it has to come out there. And it's just on that corner. So I always get my mouse confused because the navigation is different between Max and Unreal. So it has to go to about there. Okay, that should be good. I'm just going to do a save as we go here. And the next piece is going to be, well, let's work on this one here because it's right next to it. So it's that half arch piece. Here it says, I do that when I hop into Cura after being in Max. Cura? I'm not familiar with Cura. What is that? And save and question? Oh, copy. Yes, save and copy. That's right. How could I get that wrong? Thank you for the reminder, Smurfberry. Euro says Kira is a 3D print slice up program. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember you bought a 3D printer, didn't you, last year? I think you were mentioning it on stream. How are you finding it? I always wonder if I was to buy a 3D printer, what I'd use it for. So what do you use it for? I mean, I know I can print out my 3D models and stuff, but yeah, I'm just getting the use out of a 3D printer, I don't know. Okay, so we have this piece which is the 2 half arches, which will be which piece? I think it's this piece here, I think. Wow. Let me just delete that and do that again because I'm not sure where Unreal sent it. Scale. Did I put it in the wrong spot? Why is it doing that? Why are you doing that? It's really weird. Unless it's moved it somewhere. Let's try it again. Place it. I'm going to try scaling it this way just to see what's going on. No, that's fine. I'm not sure why the engine is being so annoying. But it looks to me like the pivot point on this is off anyway, so I'm going to delete it. Yeah, delete it. I'm going to re-export it. There's some problem with the export, I think, on that piece. So this is Church C. It should be this one. I'm just going to do a reset. No, I don't want to remove that. Reset on the export. I thought I did all of this, but obviously I must have missed one. Church C. I'm also, see the pivot on this is in the middle, so that's fine. Merge entry, no, we want. Room Church, UE4. Room Church C. That's the one. Now, I'm afraid that I think when I re-import this into Unreal, it's going to probably mess up my collision. Because I create the collision after I import the model. Unreal automatically assigns collision to an object, but I always like to, it just does a general, you've got an object, so I'm going to whack a big cube or something around it. So I usually like to go through and do it by hand. Sniper Girl, sorry, I didn't see you. Sniper Girl says, I honestly want to get a 3D printer. I have some stuff I'd love to print off. Euro says, I'm currently modeling and printing DIN rail stuff to DIN rail mount. all my headless single board computers. And oh, okay. At the moment, they're all over the house. Okay, so you're actually using it for something you can physically use in the real world, and you're not just printing out a model. Printing out models is cool. Smurf says, I was walking down the street yesterday and found a random tea shop and picked up some house mixed loose leaf tea. Way to go. Again, I've got to have a cup of tea. I haven't had a cup of tea in ages. So you came across a random tea shop. Well, there you go. Mixed loose leaf tea. There's such a variety of tea you can buy now. Sniper Girl says, maybe even make a side business of modelling stuff for a tabletop and selling it. Smurf says, the store is literally called the Random Tea Room. Oh, wow. Smurf says, and Curiosity Shop. Okay. I love those little sort of, those curiosity knick-knacky shops. I like going, we're near, it's not near, but in Melbourne where I live, there's what they call the Dandenong Ranges, which are like a series of mountains, about an hour and a half's drive out of the city. And up there, it's a touristy sort of spot, but that's okay. It's all rainforest. It's really pretty. And they have a lot of tea rooms and and antique shops and so it's a good place to go. It reminded me of that when you mentioned it. I haven't been up there though for a very long time, years actually, to the Dandenong Mountains. Yura says, I just need my temporary replacement switch to arrive so I can put my old 1GB 5-port switch back in the cupboard to hardwire those SBCs. Be careful. Oh, look, I don't want to freak anyone out, but about a month ago there was a news report here in Australia where a young guy bought a 3D printer. He lives with his mum. And something happened and the 3D printer burnt their house down. Again, I don't know the brand of the 3D printer. I don't know how old it was. I don't know where he got it from. All I remember in the news report was that the fire brigade determined that the fire started in the 3D printer. So I don't know. But yeah, and unfortunately the house burnt down. Smurf says, didn't have any curiosities though. Did have some lovely art prints mounted on the wall. Oh, okay. I like the little curiosity shops where they got all of that knick-knacky stuff that you can look at. And there's a lot of those sort of shops in Mount Dandenong near me. Smurf says you could smell the tea shop from a block or two away. Nice. Yuri says you must really like tea. Smurf says, I have so much tea. Oh, Make It 3D's telling the old part to work. Okay. You're going to get a slap in a minute, Make It 3D. Smurf says, I told the shopkeeper about the rare vanilla rum tea that I found in my old college apartment. Vanilla rum tea? That sounds nice. Although I can't drink rum anymore ever since I made myself blind drunk on it once when I was 18. Just the smell of it now makes me feel like I want to throw up. Unfortunately, because I mean, yeah, we do a lot of rum here in Australia. They make a lot of rum. Yuri says, I have a camera hooked up to mine so I can watch it from my PC. And never leave it printing when I go out. Do you do streams where it prints? Because I've seen streams on Twitch where people stream the printer printing stuff. And Yura says, I never leave it printing when I go out. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Smurf said, but I mean, anything can burn down. I'm not saying 3D printers are dangerous. They're not. I remember the news report because it was about a 3D printer. Smurf says, I miss the tea. It's not manufactured anymore. Sniper Girl says, I've never been a tea person. Like I told you guys, because my mother was British, I was brought up on tea as a child. But I'm a coffee person now. I haven't had tea in a very long time. But I should have a cup, because I used to like it as a child. Sniper Girl says, if I drink tea, would heat the water in the microwave. Oh, that's sacrilege to an English person. Yeah, look, I don't. A friend of mine, when he makes coffee, he heats the water in the microwave for the coffee. Just don't put the sugar, if you have sugar in your coffee or your tea, don't put sugar in the water before you heat it in the microwave, because it'll go everywhere. So heat the water, then put the sugar in. and stand back if it's, because yeah, it can bubble up. Make It 3D says it's not a fill stream unless I get at least one slap. Well, you're going to get one right now. That's for you, Make It 3D. Calling me an old fart. So what we're going to do now is we're going to re-import that piece, which is this one. Yeah, so actually this is a new option that I hadn't seen in Unreal until I upgraded to 4.27. There's an option now called re-import with new file, which is really cool actually if they added that. But we just need to re-import because we saved over the old one. Now I'm just going to look at this, it's just off screen, you guys won't see it. I'm just checking the collision on it. And for this piece, the collision is fine. Unreal has just put like a big box around it, but that's fine. But the good thing is it does keep all of the other settings, like the distance field, shadow settings, and lotting and all that sort of stuff I'd already set up on it. All it does is redoes the collision, but you can turn that off. You can't turn it off though just doing a re-import. You can only turn it off on a fresh import. Thank you 3D says yay, he's happy he got his slap. Snappy. Euro says I streamed the other day for the first time in ages, modelled some stuff to print. Meanwhile the printer was printing and had the camera overlaid. Cool. Snappy Girl says hi to Make It 3D, and Sniper Girl gave him she gave him a mod slap as well. So 2 slaps in one day. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see if this re-imported piece is going to fit properly. I'm just going to do a save before I do this. I mean, I trust Unreal. It's generally been pretty good, but you never know. Now again, I'm looking at this piece and the pivot is not centered. There is something really weird going on there. Something very, very weird. Let's do this, shall we? What could be causing that? I reset the X form, so that shouldn't be the issue. You'll notice here because it's a procedural generated landscape, it can behave oddly when you're adding and deleting stuff. Like you see all of the foliage on the ground here has disappeared. It'll come back. When I move out of the area and come back into it, it'll be back there again. It's just a glitch with procedural generation. And again, to be fair to Epic Games, procedural generation of the environment, of the foliage is still classed as a beta feature. So Euro says it's printing at the moment. Put a screenshot of Octopi in Discord. Oh, cool. Printer is in the other room. Check it out on the Discord, guys. Good morning, Android Lust. It's good to see you, buddy. I hope you had a good weekend. Chilling like a villain, Android Lust is. Do something. Yes, that's right. I got to do something. I got to try and work out what is going on with this asset. Now we can see the pivot is in the middle of the model. That should not be an issue, but when it's being brought into Unreal, for some reason, the pivot is being moved like over here. Now I've done a reset on the X form, so that shouldn't be an issue. Do something now, Make It 3D says. You're asking too much, it's filled as Sniper Girl says, that's right. Chilling like a villain. That's an order, Make It 3D says. Euro says I have it set up to do time lapse. So whenever I print stuff, it makes one. Cool. So what is going on with this asset? God, you gotta love 3D. I do not see an issue with it here in Max. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to re-export it, but I'm going to export it as a different version, like as a different name, because who knows with what's going on in Unreal there. So we're going to export selected, and we're going to make this LR_V2 for version 2. Okay, back into Unreal. You see the file just come back now. We're going to import this new model. UE4 CV2, this one here. Now this is where you can actually turn off if you don't want it to generate collision. I really probably should turn that off, you know. Let me have a look here. Yeah, generate missing collision. I might turn it off. Will I turn it off? Sometimes it can be helpful. Generally I have to redo the collision anyway when I import stuff. I'll leave it on. But yeah, I may turn it off soon. Now I just want to re-import the version 2 of this to see if there's an issue with the asset. Now I'm just going to turn virtual texturing off because I don't use virtual texturing in the game. I found it to be a little bit buggy. No offense, Epic, but it's a bit buggy. Now, before I change the materials on this, I'm just going to drag it in and check. See, now this one is fine. You see the pivot is in the middle of the object like it should be. So what's going on with this one, I can't tell you. I don't know. What I could have done actually is re-import this with a new mesh, but we'll go this route. It's just quicker and easier. So I'm just going to open up that new model and copy across the... let me just move this here so you guys can see what I'm doing. I don't like having it over here. I generally have this on my second screen, but I know that you guys can't see it, so we're going to copy that and we're going to paste it there and save it. Now, I'm just going to move this out of the way. I do think I need to redo the collision on this. Not the collision, the lotting. Yeah. So I take it, reduce it down to 60% of its original polygons to begin with. And I add 3 LOD levels. I'll bring it in so you guys can see. It doesn't look... It's no fun for you if you can't see what I'm doing with it off screen. But I always like to change my LOD levels here. I don't like to let the engine do it automatically, so I do a custom LOD. And turn off auto compute LOD. And we're going with 0.55 and 0.35. So we LOD out. And yeah, the collision on this is going to be pretty much like a boxy thing, which is fine. Although I may just scale it in a little bit. That should be good. And I also just want to double check it's fine, the distance field. Where is the distance field? Distance field resolution scale, that there. But we should be good. So let's move that back over there. Android last, make it 3D says, but it's so good. Smurf says you're using FBX as your intermediary format. Yeah, I am using FBX, that's correct. Smurf, make it 3D says the "but it's so good" comment really belongs to this remark. Yuri says might be some cached model data, it's not updating on re-import. It could be, could very well be. either way, we got around it by re-importing as a new model. I'm just going to do a save here so I can get rid of the things we don't need, just to keep everything clean. And we can get rid of this one because that's the old one. Okay. Hopefully we won't have that problem with the other pieces, but we won't know till we bring it in and try. Let's bring this piece in and let's scale it up. Now I do realise you can lock the axes here, so you only have to enter it once, if you so desire. Now we just rotate to 20 degrees. And this piece is right there. So it will go I think it goes here. Again, what I'd normally do is I'd have Max open on my second screen so I could just look between them that way. But I can't do that while I stream because I've got my chat and everything open over there. So it would block you all. I couldn't see what you guys were chatting about. So yeah, it's at the edge of that one and right up to the edge of that one. So it's at the edge of this one. Hang on, how close to the edge of this one is? Oh no, that's fine. The edge of this one and right up to that one, that looks good. And just butt it up against this wall here. Let's bring it up. It's a very tall wall. Okay. Next piece. Next piece will be, let's move to the other side and do this piece here, which is Church D. Which will be this piece here. Let's move over here. Church D. Now again, we're going to have this issue because I noticed with the pivot point it's not in the middle, which is very annoying. Let's try something different. Let's try that re-import with new mesh thing. So what we're going to have to do is delete that, back into Max. Again, actually it looks like the pivot on this one is, oh no, it is in the center, but I'm going to do a reset on the X-form to be sure. We're going to re-export this as version 2. And now we're going to try overriding the original Church D with this new thing in Max in Unreal 427, re-import with new file. So Church D, where is it? B, C, D. Did I save it into the wrong spot or is the wrong thing? Let's have a look. Church D low res. Church C, Church D, no, low res version 2, it's there. Okay. Oh, okay, models on church. We want to be in the UE4 folder. Church D version 2. So I'm re-importing with a new mesh. That new function in Unreal. Again, I'm just checking this off screen. Yeah, I thought that's what it would do, which is really annoying. It reset the collision. But before we worry about the collision, let's place the mesh and see if it fixed the pivot problem. So, Church D. And that is correct. Now the pivot is in the right spot. So it saved me some time because I don't have to reassign the new textures, but it did destroy my collision. So I'm going to have to look at doing the collision on this. Because if you look at the collision, my original collision is here. And when we re-imported it, it added this boxy collision on it. So with a bit of luck, we should be able to just select that collision. And move it back. Now why I did this I don't know. The model didn't change position in the 3D program, so the collision should have been exactly in the same spot, but software, who knows. Okay. So let's bring you in and scale it up. And now we have to rotate it 20 degrees. I've just got to work out which direction it's being rotated in. So it needs to go this way. Up against that wall, and I believe it's back there. Is that correct? No. It's got to come in and right toward the end of the wall. So, in and in. Oh, I didn't have it up high enough to see what I was doing to begin with. That would probably help. So it's got to go back there like that. And bring it down a little bit. Okay, let's do a quick save and I'll have some coffee. Here says, Snappy Girl says, great news, 3,000 more points. Oh my god, no. And you get about 1,000 points a stream, don't you? Man, 3,000 more points and I'm playing that pony game. Now the reason I haven't removed the trees here is because this is a ruin. It's not a building in any way, shape or form. That's, you know, so I want trees inside the building because I mean the building's been ruined and trees are growing in here. So that's the reason I haven't actually removed any of these, the trees you see inside the building. Makes it look more interesting as well, instead of just being a big empty space. Snowy Girl says, yep, can't wait, super excited to torture you with it. Man, why did I do that? Why did I add that as your reward? Couldn't leave things the way they were, could I? What's next? So, and then we have this piece here, which is pretty much in line with that central wall there. And this is E. Section E, which is this one. Let's see if this one's going to give us issues. And it is. And look at that again. Wow, so annoying. Okay, back into Max. Reset the export. Collapse the stack. We're going to re-export this as version 2. Oh, that's correct. We're going to re-import with a new file. Was it Church D? No, it was Church. Was it Church? Oh, I can't remember. Church E. Okay. Church D, Church E. Okay. Now I just need to fix the collision. Again, we'll get rid of that one and move this one back. Got to be extra specially careful of the collision, particularly through doorways here, because you don't want the player to get caught. Because I don't know about you, but if you're playing a game and you know how you can sometimes snag on an invisible, it's the collision. You get snagged on something. I find that incredibly annoying if I'm playing a game, and that's generally because the designers have been a bit fast and loose with the collision on their models. Okay. So yeah, can you just reread that sentence as Sniper Girl just posted in the chat? Can't wait, super excited to torture you with it. I mean, wow. Wow. Make It 3D says to Sniper Girl, you're such a wonderful humanitarian. Sniper Girl says, would reduce the number of trees in the ruins, less direct light from both the ruins and the trees. Yeah, well, just as well you're not the creative director, eh, Sniper Girl? I am. And again, we're still placing the ruins here at the moment. Yeah, and you may be correct, there may be too many trees in here. The large trees, that is. But we will tackle that in a minute once we get the rest of the wall sections in. So we're going with Church E, isn't it? Yes, Church E, and it's in line with that middle piece. Church E. And it's in line with the middle piece. Just having a look to see how far back I set it. Okay. About there. Right. Quick save copy, and then one more piece left for the church walls, I believe. Andrew Doss says, I find it funny depending on the situation. Snappy Girl says, thanks, yeah, I try. Smurf says, shut down? Well, shut down. Make It 3D says, wow, a beat down by the fossilized artist. Ouch. So we have one piece left. And that's this piece over here, which is in line with that piece there. So it should make placement quite easy. How much you want to bet that this one is not correct as well? We'll bring this in and it won't be right. So it's church F. Oh, this one actually looks... No, this one is not correct either. Wow. Okay. Of course it's not. Why would it be? So we're going to save this one out as version 2. So... Hang on, what's going on? Smurf says, did the feed from your work machine freeze? Did it? Ah, it did. Thank you, Smurf. Thank you for the heads up. Yes, that looks like it's a problem with NDI. I updated OBS today because there was a hot fix. I hate updating things like OBS because there's always issues. At least I'm still streaming. You can still see me, can't you? I'll try restarting NDI. We'll see if that fixes the problem. Thank you, OBS Studio. It does not seem to have fixed the issue. Hang on. Why did NDI not start? Let me try that again. Wait. This is why I didn't want to update OBS, but I don't actually think it's OBS. It looks like it might be NDI Studio, which is on my main machine here. So I'm going to end the task and see if I can't start NDI again. There we go. Okay, thank you for the heads up, Smurfberry. I wouldn't have noticed otherwise. Andrew Doss says it did freeze. There's no way to get his attention while he's working. I know, actually, that's a great way to get my attention, Smurfberry, because that's what I noticed. All of the emotes. Don't interrupt him, he's actually working. Yeah, but you guys can't even tell I was working. Snappy Girl says, yep, help rose over. Not used to him working and not watching chat. Yura says, weird, first time I've heard of an NDI problem in a long time. Yeah, I've noticed, and this is the second time this has happened, and so it's not the fault of the new version of OBS running on my stream machine. It's NDI running on my main computer, and this is the second time this has happened in like the last few months. I don't know why. I haven't updated NDI. The only thing I've updated is to Windows 11. So I never had the problem in Windows 10. But this is the second time NDI on Windows 11 has crashed out. I'm assuming that's what it's doing. Anyway, so yes, you guys have to give me a heads up if my stream pauses like that. Yeah, I know it can be hard because, yeah, my camera is hooked up to my stream machine. So the only thing that freezes is the feed from my main computer. So if I'm working, if my camera froze, I would notice it. But because I can see my camera moving, I don't notice that the screen has frozen. So it's important you guys tell me. Otherwise, I'll be working away for hours on end and you won't be able to see anything. But so yeah, it's not a problem with the update to OBS because OBS is still running fine. And this is the second time NDI has crashed on my main machine since I updated to Windows 11. Make of that what you will. So let's make sure we did the reset. We probably did, but can't hurt to do it again. Let's export into UE4 as version 2. And it was F, wasn't it? Yep. Let's re-import with new file. F version 2. And let's fix our collision. By getting rid of that one and replacing it with this one. Smurf says, pretty good setup to have the streaming responsibilities handled by a second machine. Yeah, look, I probably don't need the second machine because my graphics card could probably handle streaming as well as working. But because I do use so many different 3D pieces, so much software at once, as you guys have seen, so I have a lot of open in the background while I'm working. And I use 3D stuff, which hits my graphics card. I thought, oh, look, I have a spare machine, so I'll just use it to do the streaming. It's just easier. And it's actually good too, because if my machine was to like blue screen or something while I'm working, it wouldn't drop my stream. Being on a second machine, I could still stream and talk to you guys while I rebooted my main computer. So it has its benefits, having a spare machine to actually do the streaming. Okay. All right, the last piece. And where's the last piece going? It's going in line with that piece there. Okay, right up to the edge, I believe. Again, I'm getting confused with all of the different shortcuts between the different programs. Okay, yeah, right up to the edge. Edward Loss says, I don't think that's common for streamers. Like, a lot of streamers probably will use their main machine to stream and play their games or whatever. Particularly with, like, if you've got AMD or NVIDIA, you can use hardware encoding as opposed to using the CPU. Because it's very good these days. Hardware encoding is almost as good as CPU encoding. And yeah, there are dedicated chips built into the graphics card to do streaming of video, so. Alright, so this piece is going to go... I think it goes this way. Does it go this way? Yeah, sticks out from the edge. Oh, I think I may have this piece in the wrong spot, actually. Yeah, I think I do. I think I do. Yeah, this piece should not be to this edge, it should be to the other side. So it has to be in line with this wall over here. in the max. Yeah, so that edge is in line with that. So this edge is in line with this edge. That wall with that wall. Which will mean this one rotate 20 degrees, and it should be in line with this wall. Yeah. And it's just up to the edge, I believe. Yeah. Something like that. It doesn't have to be exact. You need to move this piece down. I might just move this one over a little. Alrighty. No, I think that's great. Alright, now we have to bring in the altar. Again, do a quick save. I'll have a quick cup of coffee, read my chat. Smurf says, if I streamed, I'd totally prefer to do it that way, even though my computer could handle everything at once, most likely. Yeah, it's a better way to, if you have another machine and you want to stream, I would always recommend using the second machine to do the streaming. It has a lot of benefits. Even if your machine can handle it, it's still better to do it. But don't think you need to get a second machine to stream. You don't. You can do it all from the one, provided it's powerful enough. And most modern hardware will be powerful enough with if you're doing hardware encoding on the graphics card anyway. So Euro says I do that. Then if something goes tits up on my main machine, it doesn't take down my stream. Yep, that's one of the major benefits. It's a really handy benefit. Okay, let me get up here so I can sort of see where I am. Alright, so we need to bring the altar in. And the altar just sits in the middle of those, in line with the doorways. So, in line with the doorways. In the middle here. So down in here. Let's see if we have any problems with the altar, shall we? No, I think the altar's going to be fine. I'm going to keep the altar at an angle because it looks more interesting. I do want it to be around about the middle, so around about here. I think what I might do with the altar too is I might just raise it up a little. Actually, I might just make it a bit bigger in general. And we're going to not make it look quite so perfect and straight. We're going to angle it a little bit. Again, I'm just trying to judge height here because we have to place a note on top of the altar. So I don't want it to be too high that the player can't get to it. I might just bring it back a little bit. Abigail says it's 8 PM and I'm tired. I don't know why. I was tired yesterday. Yeah. I don't know why either. I had 2 naps yesterday and it's very rare for me. Like sometimes I will have a nap after lunch for like a half an hour because after I eat I get tired. But I had to have 2 naps yesterday. So, and I just couldn't, I didn't feel like I felt like I couldn't wake up properly. So even when I was awake, I had like a brain fog. It was hard to describe. It was very strange. I've never had a day like that before. It's very, very odd. I'm just trying to decide if I want to angle it. I might just angle it a little bit that way. It needs to be around about the middle of the doorways. This is just so the player can notice it when they come in through the building. They can see it back there. Because the player needs to pick up a note that's going to be placed on top of it, which I'm going to do now. Snobby Girl says, I can't take naps. I feel more tired if I do. I never used to. Maybe it's because I'm old now. Yeah, but I find that after I've had lunch, I need to like have a half an hour nap. I get really tired. Only after I've had lunch, like after I've eaten lunch. Now, where did I put the note? Is the next question. She says, wow, that surprises you have to take naps. I'm old, come on. Ancient Phil here, he needs to have a nap. Yeah, where did I put these notes? Where did I put the notes? I know how I can find them. That's by going to one of the other notes, but that will take you to an area where I'm not supposed to show you. So I'll try and do it manually. Where did I put them? I think maybe under effects. Maybe not. Yeah, no, I don't think it's here. Oh, no. The textures are here, but not the actual... Oh, hang on. Yes, they are. No, they're not. These are the meshes, but not the actual blueprint. Is what I'm looking for. I know where it'll be. It'll be down here. Diary pages. It should be here. Caretaker, bridge, locked gates, lookout, manor house, gates, ruined church. I think this is the note here, I think. Let's have a look. Before I place it, we should check to make sure it is actually the right note. No, that's not the one we want. This tells them about the church. This doesn't belong at the church, so we need the other note. What is the note? Where would it be? It'd be maybe the bridge note? Maybe the bridge note. Let's check. Yeah, this is the one, because this one, no. Is this the one? Yeah, no. Hang on, Phil's got to think about the storyline here and where things go. Yeah, I think this one goes in the church. Yeah, because I'm back along the path and to the east. Yep, this one is one that goes in the church. I know how I can check it. Let me have a look. Let's go back up here to effects. I'm just finding it a little hard to read the actual blueprint. So what I'm going to do is open up the texture. And it's easier for us to see it and to read it. Back along the path to the east of here is a symbol carved into a stone. Directly behind the stone lies a hidden walkway. Yeah, so they find that here at the church. They have to go back along the path to find this. That's correct. Yep. Okay. So it's the bridge note. So it's this one here. We need to rotate it so it's laying flat. And put it on an angle because it just makes it look a bit more interesting. Yeah, I was a little worried here. I think I may have made the altar a bit too big, maybe. Yeah, we may scale the altar down a little bit more. I did actually size it to the walls and max, so I shouldn't really go above 4.5, and we're at 7 at the moment. So let's take it down to... Let's go to 6. Which is still bigger than it originally should be. That noise? Sorry, I can hear a noise in the background. I'm trying to work out what it's music and I don't know where it's coming from. Let's turn off angle snap here. I just want to get the note positioned correctly above the altar. Can't have it too close because we don't want the collision. If the collision from the altar overlaps the note, the player won't be able to pick the note up. So we want it close enough but not too close. And we'll put it around about there, and I guess we'll rotate it maybe a little bit. maybe that way. I don't want it right in the middle because that never looks good. We want to sort of off center a little bit. Now we need to place some stones on top of it so the note doesn't blow away. And I just happen to have some stones, if I can find them. Just, yeah. I'll scale them up a little bit because they're a bit small. And let's just put them, oh, I don't know. Let's put them there like that. Again, make sure they're actually on the paper. I may make them a little bit bigger. I may bring the paper down a little bit. I think I've got a little bit too high. That should be good. Alright, let's do a quick save. Hang on, what's going on here? Sniper Girl says, so you are 5 and need naps, or are you ancient? I do need naps. I'm sorry, but after I've had lunch, I get tired. One of the benefits of working from home, of course, you can have your nap. Harder to do when you're in the office. Although, I've worked with a lot of people and they tend to have a power nap where they put their head down for 5 minutes on their desk. It's quite common. Android Lost says, I only take naps when I'm coming off my caffeine binges. After that, I never do. Smurf says, well, and I only take my naps if I eat, like if I remember to have lunch, which I don't always remember to do because generally if I start to zone out, get into the zone while I'm doing what I'm doing, I can forget to eat, in which case I don't have my nap. It's only after I've had something to eat for lunch, generally, I need to take a nap. And yesterday I had to take 2, so it was, yeah, my brain just felt cloudy. Smurf says, put a people in the scene and find out. Oh, you mean put a character in the scene to judge height. It's generally better to playtest it, which I won't do on stream, but yeah. That's generally what I do. I mean, that's a good suggestion, Smurf, putting a character in this scene to judge height. And that's generally a great way to work. And if your game is third person, then that's perfectly understandable and a valid way to work. But I don't know if you're making a first person game, which is what this is, but you generally find you need to scale things up to be a bit bigger than they normally would be if you were making a third person game. It's something about being in the first person perspective means that things actually need to be a bit bigger than they normally would be. Yeah. Try it. If you've got, download the Unreal Engine because it has a template for first and third person. Place an object of the same size in both of those templates and play test it and you'll see what I mean. So basically if you're making a first person game, you need to make things a bit bigger than a third person game. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll play test it. I know the node size is correct because we use the same node size for all of the pickups in the game. So, and we've already play tested those. So, Andrew Dust says what Smurf says. Snappy Girl says, looking at you with judging eyes. Judge. Smurf says burbs. I don't know what burbs is. Be right back, so I'm not sure. So what else did I... That's right. Let's have a look at adding some ivy to the doorway. So I am outside, aren't I? Yeah. Let's add the ivy, which again I've already brought in. So ruined church front ivy left. Again, we need to scale this one up. This is correct, because the ivy, the pivot position is at the base of the ivy, so. And it was only this morning that I grew the ivy, but we do need to rotate it 20 degrees to match the facade. Make sure I keep angled snap on. I believe it needs to come over. That's a bit too much. Now, what I could have done is I could have attached the ivy to this piece of geometry and exported it as one mesh. But that increases the draw calls on a single object, and it's always better to have fewer draw calls. So adding it as a separate object just reduces the draw calls for the one object. Okay, we have a piece of ivy for the other side. And to angle it 20 degrees. To make sure I'm angling it the right direction. Burbs. What are burbs? What is burbs? What's burbs? Are you saying birds? What? What's going on? What are you trying to say? I'm confused, and you know it's easy to confuse me. So, what's going on? What are you talking about? Oh, you heard birds before, did you? Did you? I don't recall hearing any birds. Birds is internet slang for birds. Burbs is internet slang for birds, old man. Okay. I don't recall hearing any birds though in the background. You guys are hearing things. I think you're all mad. You're all mad. There were no birds. Happy Girl says to Smurf, it's Phil, it's all I need to say. Smurfberry says it was either birds or 4 of those squeakiest wheels ever. I didn't hear the birds. I don't know what... I think... I never heard the birds. Seriously, I did not hear the birds, so I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. It's madness, I tell you, you're all mad. You're imagining things. I was a little afraid of that the ivy is actually clipping through the door. Which doesn't look great. But what I could probably do is, let's make it look like the door is actually starting to fall off its hinges anyway. Because why not? So we're going to angle the door forward. Move it out. Move it back. Move it out. Let's look at it from a distance so we can gauge whether it looks okay or not. Yeah, that's right. So we have one of the doors just hanging on by one hinge. Okay, we're going to do a quick save. Yeah, seriously though, I did not hear the birds. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Maybe I was just so engrossed in what I was doing, I tuned it out. I don't know. I do have my kitchen window open, so it wouldn't surprise me if you did hear birds. So what we want to do... Coffee, yes, more coffee. I want to put an entryway in here for the church yard, the church grounds, so... Android Lost says, I heard it but thought it came from my computer. So yeah, we want to, actually maybe before we do that, let's just look at the interior here. I actually don't disagree with Sniper Girl. I think there might be a few too many of the large trees inside the building. So particularly through here. So I think what I'll do is I want to keep those over there. I want to keep that one there. I may move this one, I think. So I'm going to move it. I'm trying to decide where I want to put it. I may just bring it outside the building, I think. So we're just going to move it out. I want to keep it near the building, but not in the building. Oh, where am I? There I am. Okay. So yeah, I want a line of sight to the altar. I do want some big trees in here because I think it looks cool. I'm going to move this out a little bit so it's not intersecting the wall so much. I may move this one back. We have a tree right in the wall here, and that's not good, so let's move that out of the way. So now I've just got to go through and make sure that no trees are actually inside of walls before we tackle the entryway. And this is obviously a copy of that tree there, so I'm just rotating it to make it less obvious. Again, we've got a tree in a wall. If I don't do this now, I will forget to do it later. Got a bit of a headache actually. I'm going to move this tree out for a minute and let's see. Yeah, we might keep this tree just outside the building, I think. Hang on, what's going on? Sniper Girl says, it's okay Phil, you're old, just didn't hear it, we get it. Android Lost says, I heard it, I thought it came from the computer. Sniper Girl says, no, it was through his side. She says, wow, they had me on 360p. Wow, really? You're watching in 360p? I'm not sure what Android Lust is watching in because his internet's not great. Sniper Girl says, love when Twitch reduces the resolution. Isn't that annoying? I think it's like an auto setting or something that Twitch have, where it automatically reduces the resolution. Thanks Twitch, thanks a lot for that. If I want the resolution reduced, I'll do it myself. Don't auto low res it on me. Okay, let's jump back here because I want to get the entryway in. Again, I'm just going to do a quick save. Android Lost says, good old 480p. Oh, okay, 480p, well that's not too bad. 480p, yeah, that's not too bad. Sniper Girl says, originally was on 1080p, but it was reduced automatically to it. She says that sucks to Android Lost. Android Lost says, I'm sure I can go to 1080. I normally just default it to 480p. 480p, I don't know what you're watching on, but generally on a monitor it should be fine. Or maybe on a TV it might start to look a little bit blurry. But if you're watching on a computer monitor, then yeah, 480p is alright. Particularly if you're watching it, like if you're not full screening it, you're watching it in a window, or you know, you've got other stuff happening open on the monitor at the same time. 480p is fine. Probably much better to have this as in low as a resolution as you can get anyway. So yeah, we want to add a 120p. I think isn't the lowest 160p? I could be wrong. I thought 160 was the lowest, and that would make this just a blurry mess, which, you know, could be a benefit to a lot of people. So yeah, we want to add the an entryway here at the end of this path. So I'm going to bring in this this entryway, and we're going to scale it up. And now this one I am going to keep straight to the path, because otherwise it'll be a bit silly. I just have to make sure my scale is correct. I'm just wondering, I think maybe I should go to the same scale as the building. We'll find out. I'm pretty sure when I designed it to the same scale as the building. I know how I can find out. Actually, I can take it back and place it next to the other doorway. That'll give me a good idea. Yeah, the two doorways are about the same height, which is what I was going for when I put it together. It might be a little big. We may knock it back to 4. Yeah, now it's a little smaller than the door, but that's okay. Okay, let's bring it over and over and down. I may bring it back a little bit. I don't want to block the signs too much. I want people to be able to read them. Again, I'm just doing a comparison with the doorway size. Okay, let's bring the ivy in, which we're going to put on the gates. Snobby says, yeah, 160p is the lowest. Would look horrid on all modern phones. Yeah, I don't recommend you watch me in 160. It will be pretty much a blurry mess. 20p. 3D says 20p. Church entry ivy. That's the one. And we need to scale it up to match, which is 4, I believe we went with. Now I only created one of these. I'm going to duplicate it for the other side, for the other gate over here. So let's, and then we can hardware instance it later. Edit, duplicate. We want to transform and flip on the X, I believe. Mirror on the X. Yep. Sniper Girl says to make it 3D, that would be pixel art at that point. Euro says 160p is Game Boy Advance territory. I didn't know the Game Boy was that lower resolution. I guess it's got a tiny screen, doesn't it? Okay, so we've got the ivy going. And position on the path, I guess is correct. So let's do a quick save, I need some coffee. Make it 3D says 10p. What about 2p? Here it says 160p is 240 by 160 pixels. Just as well we get transcoding, isn't it? Yeah, I haven't had any problems actually for a week or two with transcoding on Twitch. Like sometimes I have to restart my stream multiple times to get it to kick in, but the last couple of weeks it's been fine. As soon as I start the stream, transcoding's been there. So thank you for that, Twitch. Alright, now I think we need to actually add some like fence pieces. So we're going to start by adding these. I think if we go to 4, 4 and 4, which is what we used for the gate, for the entryway. Oops, every time, man. I try to make sure I have the, the gate height in the ground is correct. I'm going to scale this up a little though. So we got one on that side and we want one on the other side, so let's duplicate it. Okay, now we want some fence, stone fencing, so let's go with, oh, I had a shorter piece, no, alright, let's go with one on this side, try this one. Abigail says, 3 more streams of freedom, be ready. Great. I can't wait. I might scale this up, I think. We might just scale up all overall. Let's try 5 by 5 by 5. Pull it back to there so it doesn't cover our sign. And let's rotate it so it's not straight. Sniper Girl says that mesh would be awesome as a spline, be able to move it along the terrain. True, but I don't actually want... Well, that's true. I'm just going to be using it as sections. We're not actually going to create a full fence line. I'm only going to be creating bits and pieces of a fence that's been broken and unused for years. So we have that one on that side. We've got... let's go with this one on this side. That's actually how the path is created. The path is created by using a mesh that's running along a spline. Move that there, move that back there, move that down there. I might actually rotate this 180 degrees, I think. Let's move it over a bit. Maybe sink it down a little bit. Now I have some wrought iron that I'm going to bring in just for the top of the fence line, and we can reuse it. So I've just created two different types of wrought iron. So let's start with this one, I guess. We're just going to sink it in the middle of the fence line. Let's see how high I want to go. Maybe about there. So we're just sort of under the top of the line here. Okay, that's one. Let's bring the next one in, which is this one. Okay, and I guess we should just stick some on this side as well. So let's just grab this one and duplicate it. And where did it go? And we'll put this one about, yeah, we won't go right up to the edge like the other side, just to make it a bit different. And let's angle it. Okay. And I might just add a couple of bits and pieces along the sides here of fence line just to make it look like the fence has been broken up. So we can throw a piece an angle, and again I want to try and avoid making squares with my fences. You know, when we designed the fence for the entryway, we had those curved sections and it wasn't just a straight line, because it always looks more interesting if it's not just a square. So we're going to sort of make an angle here as opposed to a square. We can sink that down a bit. Okay, let's duplicate this. Let's go this way. Let's duplicate it again for the other side of the building. So I'm not going to put a corner one on this one, I'm going to put a longer piece out here. Make sure we're actually not in the building, it needs to go out here. And then I guess we need one piece for the back of the building. So let's grab a duplicate of this one. And let's move it out here. We might grab a copy of this angle piece. And move that one over. Move it back. Move it down. Wrong angle. I may even rotate this one a little bit so it looks like it's almost falling over. I think this one needs to come back. Oh, damn it. What's going on here? Snubby Girl says, it's just a thought. Snubby Girl says, will be nice. We'll let you choose. Do you want endless suffering with getting over it? With Bennett Body or the pony game? Let's go with the pony game. We've been talking about the pony game, so we'll do the pony game. You can keep the endless suffering for for the next horrid game you want me to play. Oh, we're almost there, I think. I'm just going to clear the path a little bit from here to the door. I'm moving some of these out of the way. I want to add some plants here as well, but I don't think we'll get time to do it today. So let's move this one over here. Move this one over here. I think we need a few more fences around the building, maybe toward the back. Like through here it's okay. But I think we might do with one here. I actually think this one is too close to the building, it needs to come back. Oh, let's get out of foliage mode. There we go. Let's push this one back. So yeah, fence line. Around a fence line. We need a couple more pieces to the back. And we've got fence line here. Yeah, I think maybe one or two pieces toward the back. Android Lost says, I think getting over it is less suffering. Sniper Girl says, we're talking about a 2-hour stream. He'd want to rage quit before that. Android Lost says, I'll stay stuck at the bottom. Sniper Girl says, that's going to happen. He's going to make so much progress and they get so frustrated that when he falls on the bottom, he can't get back up. Oh no, it's not one of those sort of games, is it? Thank you, Sniper Girl, for gifting Smurfberry a subscription. That's really cool of you. That's awesome of you. Thank you so much, Sniper Girl. She's too generous. You're awesome, Sniper Girl. Thank you for that. Very, very good of you to give Smurf a subscription. So we come through. I want to move a couple of the trees around, and I want to add those fence lines. Sniper Girl says that's where the fun is. For us, it would come in. That's where the fun would come in if I fall to the bottom and can't get out again. Smurf says, I demand ponies. Sniper Girl says, we'll go ponies and the getting over it next. Okay, that sounds like a good plan. So ponies first and then getting over it. You want to torture me and torture me. Sniper Girl says, saving up 30,000 points again. Takes a while, but worth it. Android Lust says, I could redeem getting over it. Oh no, stop it. Don't you start working together, people, now. Android Lust says, if I was a sadist. Yes, no, don't you people start working together now. Sniper Girl says, you're welcome. Yes, no, it's very good of you. Thank you, Sniper Girl. Sniper Girl says, the Smurf has been watching for a while. So glad to. Sniper Girl says, we'll never be up there with Contigi. I mean, wow, 9 subs. Yeah, I wonder how Contigi's going. Actually, I haven't spoken to him for a while. Smurf says, someone's being butted up, but I don't know who it is. Sniper Girl says, 2,000 more points left. I found out that you get 500 points. Oh, for gifting a sub. I didn't expect that. Oh, wow. So you got an extra 500 points for gifting the sub. You've only got 2,000 left. That's like 2 streams. Oh no. Smurf says, never mind, it was purely transactional. That's what I thought too. I think we might leave it there for today though, guys. I'll be back on again tomorrow as usual. We will finish setting up this section for the ruined church. I've only got to add a couple of fences, and I'm thinking about adding actually a spline around the building with a... We'll look at that tomorrow. But yeah, the road, the path uses a spline. So I'm thinking about adding a spline that runs around the outside of the building with like a pebble texture on it or something, but we'll look at that tomorrow. So yeah, just a couple of fence lines to go, maybe the spline around the building. And then I think the ruined church part is done. We can jump to the entryway for the manor house, for the main gates. She says she didn't realise it would happen, those extra 500 points. Just noticed, was like, what? How did I get that many points? Pretty neat, it is pretty neat. At 27.9 thousand points, currently jumped up a lot. Oh no. So you need 30,000, don't you? Yeah, so a couple of thousand left. Anyway, I will be back on again tomorrow and you can continue redeeming your points then, Sniper Girl. I do want to thank you guys so very much for hanging out with me and for watching. I really do appreciate it, guys. You guys have a great night, great day, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, 30,000, great. Which you'll probably accrue tomorrow. You're quite welcome. Yeah, you guys have a great night and I'll see you tomorrow. See you guys.